and today we'll be doing another alternative universe. And in this universe, we'll be exploring what would happen if Sirius Black, basically the godfather of Harry Potter, if you do not remember who he is, um, what happened if he never went into prison? This is probably a topic that lots of people have been theorizing about, so I'm gonna let me myself Dragon Wings see what it could be. And before we begin the video, make sure to subscribe to never miss another video, like any content, and like the video if you enjoyed to help support the channel. And by the way, you might be wondering why am I playing Bed Wars while explaining an alternative universe? And it's because it's just something so you guys don't get bored or anything, including myself as well. But anyways, let's begin. So basically, we need to first go on the question: How would Sirius Black not go into prison in the first place? Well, maybe perhaps instead of chasing after Peter Pettigrew, basically he went into Harry's house, I believe with Hagrid. I don't know the entire story, but he went into Harry's house with Hagrid. No way, he waited for Hagrid, and instead of just giving his motorbike to Hagrid, he would probably just stay there and went with Hagrid instead, and then basically after they bring Harry back, Dumbledore probably urges them to go with the Dursleys because Harry has a love protection because Lily sacrificed her life for Harry. So Dumbledore would probably want him to not be in Sirius' hand, to not be raised by Sirius, even though he would be a better parent than the Dursleys would ever be. But maybe they could have worked something out, maybe the Dursleys could maybe Sirius could raise Harry on the weekends or the weekdays, and the Dursleys could work on that and do the opposite. Basically, Sirius would have lived with Harry until the Dursleys, you get the point, they'll share days and everything. And this would basically let Harry have a good life, a little miserable, but probably even more excited when he gets to see his godfather on the days that he gets to live with him. And so basically after that, Harry would know a lot more about the wizarding world and than he would with the Dursleys, because the Dursleys would refuse to tell him anything about the wizarding world. And Sirius would probably tell Harry as well, the true, how his parents actually died, and all that stuff. And, yeah, and basically, Harry would go into Hogwarts, even, more educated with Sirius already, and he would probably have somebody actually talk to, writing letters and everything. It actually wasn't miserable or anything. And, so basically, I don't think there's not gonna really be that much of a difference, because I think Harry would still end up with the Golden Trio, Hermione and Ron. I think he would still meet them and be friends with them. I think the sequence for Ron might be a bit different because Harry would probably already know how to get through to the King's Cross station and to quarters 9.5, and but yeah, all this stuff. But yeah, I think they would still meet and everything. There won't really be a difference. Now, one thing that is different, that'll probably be different, is that in the third book, when Harry and his friends are allowed to go into Hogsmeade, however, they must have a slip from a parent or a guardian. Now, in the original series, Harry couldn't go to Hogsmeade because his parents are obviously dead, and he didn't even know he had a godfather until later in the book. And even if he did know he had a godfather, the godfather would be in prison. But in this timeline, Sirius would probably Sirius would obviously sign the slip and everything, and he would get into Hogsmeade and everything. Now, one thing that I kind of been ignoring, mainly because I kind of forgot, is Peter Pettigrew. So, basically, Sirius wouldn't go after him this timeline. So, but Sirius would probably tell Dumbledore and the others about Peter Pettigrew, and so he would probably be arrested in this timeline, and then basically Voldemort would actually not be able to get his rise back to power. He will not be able to make his epic return in the Goblet of Fire. So basically, in the third book, Sirius the events of the last probably the Shrieking Shack scene and everything probably wouldn't happen because Sirius would have probably told Harry about his friends and everything, like the murderers, and how Lupin was a werewolf. But I think Lupin would still be fired, mainly because of the jinx that Voldemort put, and also Severus would still not like one of his rivals back in his childhood to be teaching at Hogwarts. But I think Voldemort would probably have somebody else instead to make him find him. I think Barty Crouch Jr. is probably the best option because maybe he would have believed that the Dark Lord is back and everything. So instead of Peter Pettigrew making all that sacrifice and stuff, it will be Barty Crouch Jr. He will cut off his hand and everything. But I don't think he'll necessarily... it's a bit complicated, but I think he would be Mad-Eye, but he would be waiting at the end. And though I think Harry would still escape Voldemort, though, just like he did in the main timeline. So, after that, they would, Dumbledore would, find the actual Moody, and, find out he was kidnapped all along, because Barty Crouch Jr. or Voldemort, would have probably told Harry about all that plan and everything. Probably Barty Crouch Jr., because, he did that in the original timeline as well. But yeah, and so in the Order of the Phoenix, basically it wouldn't be that much different, to be honest. So for the rest of the series, it's not really going to be that different. Peter Pettigrew might come back though, well, because Voldemort could break him out or something like that. But yeah, you would definitely Voldemort could break Peter Pettigrew out, so Peter Pettigrew will probably still come back, but I don't think the timeline after that will be really any different. The only thing different is that Harry will just have to fight off both Barty Crouch Jr. and Peter Pettigrew, and Barty Crouch Jr. has that metal hand instead of Peter Pettigrew. Though I don't think really there's gonna be any difference at all in this. It's not gonna really be that different after this. However, there's one thing that I still need to talk about, which is Peter Pettigrew's death in the main timeline. So in the main timeline, in the books, Peter Pettigrew, he died because he basically strangled himself or choked himself, whatever you want to say. But yeah, he was choking Harry to death. But then Harry reminded Peter about how he saved his life. Though I don't think that would happen because technically Peter would already be in jail at this point. Like, he was in jail before any of that could happen. So, most likely, probably Ron would maybe stop Peter or something like that. Or, like, it's gonna be a little difficult. There is two things here. Either one, Harry actually dies by the hand of, I think probably, so basically it would actually be considering, like, who actually guards, Harry in the Deathly Hallows. It's either Barty Crouch Jr. or Peter Pettigrew. To be honest, I think it might be Peter Pettigrew still. Um, so, most likely, Harry fighting off Peter Pettigrew will be easy because he doesn't have that metal hand, instead Barty Crouch Jr. does. So, we could go down that timeline. There is the timeline where Barty Crouch could be there, and he would probably kill Harry, or maybe Ron could stop him or something like that. Anyways, let's just assume Peter Pettigrew still the one who does, who guards Harry and Ron. And, basically after that, I'm pretty sure, like, after he, basically, I don't think he'll die, and I don't think he'll choke Harry. And he could try, but it's probably easier for Harry and Ron to fight him off, since he doesn't have that metal hand anymore. So most likely, they're able to, Harry and Ron is able to get him off, like they're able to like take off his hand or something, like. And after that, I think basically everything else will be the same. Barty Crouch Jr. will fight in the Battle of Hogwarts, but obviously lose, along with the rest of the Death Eaters and Voldemort. So I think that's basically all. I think that's basically my thoughts on how this will work. This timeline of if Sirius Black was raised Harry instead, like if he was not in prison. But yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and like the video to help support the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.